Hi guys, so this week's video is going to be the style challenge. People have actually requested this for quite a while now, and I decided that if I'm going to do the style challenge, it can't be a small video for me. It has to be a challenge. It has to pique my interest. There's got to be people that I really like on this list, as well as styles of cartoons and anime and everything else that I've grown up with throughout the years. This was also one of those things where I wanted to test my motivation and how long I could hold out. Now, this took me a whole 2 weeks. I think it took a little bit longer than 2 weeks, but around that kind of time frame. And I decided on doing 20 styles because if you're going to do something, you might as well go the whole way. The first style is my style, and I will say that this is the only style that has the webcam footage. Now, the rest is going to be screen recording because I kind of feel like that's a lot better. And also, my clip's corrupted for my style, so webcam footage it is. So for this challenge, I was drawing my OC, Ruby. Now, Ruby has short hair. I thought this would be easy in everybody's styles that I was doing. No. If you think the style challenge is easy, then you've got another thing coming. It will definitely kick your butt, because it kicked mine. And why I was crazy enough to do 20, I don't know. So the first style that is not mine is Jenna Drawing. Jenna Drawing is like my little sister on the internet. She is so sweet, and her style is really cool, but I did come up with some problems. So it was really easy up until the blending. So I did the base colors and the lines and everything within 30 minutes. It was really quick until I got to the blending. The blending took me the rest of the day to do. It took a lot out of me, let's just say that. And the amount of times I had to redo the eyes because they looked really wonky, I do not even want to begin to explain how much technical issue I had with the blending, but I do have to give her credit where credit is due, because she does a lot of headshots with her work, and I can tell why she does a lot of headshots, because this style, it takes a long time with the blending. It's just so much time. So I hope I did your style justice, Jenna, because I know you'll be watching this. Oh, look at that. We're already a little bit behind with the commentary. So this next style is Edds World. This was a really interesting style to do because it was very different from my own. It's very weird and wacky. And I do remember watching Edds World back in early 2011. It was definitely around that kind of time. So I've been a fan of it for a really long time. The one thing that makes me really sad about Edds World is Ed is no longer with us. He died March 25th, 2012, and that was actually 2 days before my 15th birthday. So I was sad, really sad. I think Edds World was actually one of the first introductions to art and animation on YouTube. So I think that actually might be part of my origin story. It's not the entire part of my origin story, but it does have an honorable mention in it. Style number 4 is Code Lyoko. Now, not very many people will probably know of this, but I only remembered this style because Frederator uploaded one of the 107 Facts type of videos on it, and I remembered it from my childhood. So, yay. It's a very minimalistic style, and I really was head over heels for all of the styles that had no blending after I did Jenna's. Jenna's style kind of like decreased my motivation for blending because I spent so long on Jenna's style, because I wanted to do it justice. But I think Code Lyoko has French origins. It's actually a TV show about high school students and virtual reality. So the high school students save the world from things in the game reality. I don't remember a lot of things from this show, but I do remember the art style. It is very vivid in my memory, but I don't remember a lot of what it's about. I do know it did have 2 styles of animation. It had 2D and 3D. I thought the 3D animation looked pretty bad. That was just my general opinion when I was little. I just preferred 2D animation all the way, so I went with the 2D style. I think the character I used as reference is actually a girl that is trapped inside the game world. I think her name's Aelita or Aelida. I don't know. I mispronounce things. Style number 5 is total drama. Now, back in 2013, I used to watch this show a lot. I've actually watched seasons 1 to 5. I don't think I've watched anything further than All Stars, but I really like total drama. It's got a very distinct style, and this is one of the styles that doesn't have shading or anything in any of the reference pictures, so it was a joy to do. It was very, very quick for me to do. Some of the styles I actually got through really, really quickly, others I didn't. Now, I've had a previous experience drawing this style, so I kind of knew how it worked, because back in 2013, I went through a phase where I went through loads of different styles trying to define what my style was going to be. So total drama was actually one of them. The 6th style is Bratz. Now, Bratz was a big part of my childhood, definitely. Now, when people say, what did you have as a child? You have Bratz or Barbie dolls? I had Bratz dolls, and a lot of them. I think I still played with my Bratz dolls until like the 1st or 2nd year of high school, I think. I kind of wish I would have kept some back so I could try out doll customizing, because it looks so cool. And to artists who do that, that's really awesome, and it's something that I really love to try in the future. It's probably never gonna happen, but it's a really nice thought. Bratz actually brings back a lot of memories for me. So towards the end of like the whole Bratz doll phase, I actually still kept the annuals, and I think that's probably what lasted the longest out of every Bratz item I had back when I was younger. The annuals, me and my friend, we used them as like pose references for our drawings, but this style is well known for the big heads and the big lips and the big eyes and no nose. Bratz, I think Lord Voldemort called. He actually wants to set up a no-nose support group. Style 7 is codename Kids Next Door. This is a show that me and my sister used to watch around our grandmother's house, and I remember just watching it. We used to be obsessed with it. It's about little child agents, and they're all secret agents. This style actually has a really weird shape of head. The head is an oval shape, but not in the way that you would expect, in like a horizontal way, and it's a really weird kind of thing. Surprisingly, this style didn't actually take me too long. There was hardly any colour, there was no whites of the eyes either. I was actually surprised at that. I think some of the children in the show do have the whites of the eyes. Some don't even open their eyes at all, which is also kind of creepy. But that is actually one of the main things that I wanted to do about the style challenge. I wanted lots of visual differences between each of the styles. Obviously, there's going to be some styles that are more similar than others. So the next style is Soul Eater. This actually counts as 3 of the anime and manga sort of styles that we have in this style challenge. I chose Soul Eater, Yuri on Ice, and Fairy Tail as the 3 anime and manga. Now, Soul Eater, I chose this because this is my sister's personal favourite, or at least one of them. Sonia really likes Fairy Tail as well. That's my sister's name if you don't know. I was also the reason why Sonia got into Fairy Tail as well. I got my sister into a lot of animes and mangas over the years. Yay! The one thing I did notice throughout all of these anime and manga sort of styles is that they play around with the different types of eyes, especially for the characters. I think Yuri on Ice and Fairy Tail play around with more of the eye shape than anything, whereas Soul Eater, it plays around more so with the pupil. I don't know, like, there's so many different types of pupils in that show, it's ridiculous. And Soul Eater has like a cute little circle of a nose just to indicate the shadow of the nose. It's really adorable. Yuri on Ice, however, it has this more detailed kind of vibe. Now, obviously, with the face, there's still a simplistic face. That's anime and manga for you. They have more of a simplistic face. But I noticed straight away with Yuri on Ice, when I looked at some of the references, that they actually indicate a lot more in the line work. The main issue that I came across while doing pretty much all three of these styles was the fact that the line work was super thin, especially on Yuri on Ice. I feel like Yuri on Ice is probably the most detailed and the worst for incredibly thin line work, because their line work is pretty much all one line thickness, so it was difficult. These three styles were also cell shaded, so it was really nice just having cell shading for all three of them. Soul Eater required a little bit more texture and a little bit more of a desaturated colour, because that's the kind of vibe of the manga and the anime. When looking for references for all three of these animes, I took inspiration from like multiple different characters. For Soul Eater, it was Tsubaki, Liz, a little bit of Patty and Maka as well. With Yuri on Ice, it was Sala, Yuri's childhood friend. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. And Isabella, JJ's fiance from Yuri on Ice. As for Fairy Tail, I decided to go with Juvia, because Juvia is my favourite character from Fairy Tail. Well, my favourite female character anyway. My favourite male character is Jalal, which is telling because I have a character named after the Fairy Tail character. But when choosing references, I decided to go with Juvia and not Lucy Heartfilia, because I felt like Lucy was a bit too generic, and also I really like Juvia's eyes. There's something about them that's quite fiercely striking, but beautiful at the same time, and very simple to do. So that's why I went with Juvia. I had quite a few people actually say to me, if you do not do Fairy Tail as a style in this style challenge, I don't know who you are. And that's very true, because Fairy Tail is one of my personal favourite animes and mangas. I've actually not really watched the anime in quite a long time, but I do keep up to date with the manga, and I think it's coming to an end, which is really sad, because I really like the manga. It's very good. And you can also see the improvement of the artist as he goes along. So it's really interesting to watch Hiro Mashima's style develop. The 11th style is Tim Burton. Now, a lot of people actually suggested me to do this style. Now, I actually also did some field research, which basically means I went on Google and looked at all the different styles other people have done to get inspiration for my challenge, to see which ones I would like to do. And Tim Burton, I wasn't sure about doing, and I got requested a lot to do it, so I was like, okay, let's do it. And the only Tim Burton animated movie that I could remember very vividly in my mind was The Corpse Bride, so I thought, right, that is the reference we're going with. I also found that the line work was incredibly thin on this one as well, which was lovely. I'm of course being sarcastic if you didn't catch my drift. The next style, the 12th style, is an absolute staple and a classic, pretty much must-have style, Disney Princess. Now, I decided to go with Ariel, even though everybody else goes with Ariel, but Ariel was always my favourite Disney princess when I was younger. to the point where every time we went swimming, me and my sister used to pretend that we were mermaids in the swimming pool. I don't know if anybody else did that, but that's something that I always used to do as a child. In terms of technique, I thought that the technique I used was pretty similar to my own, because there was blending, there was more coloured line art, and definitely something that I use nowadays. But I feel like it was different to mine in the way that it was shaded. It didn't really use tones of like complementary colours or anything. It was more shaded with tints and shades, which are okay. I just prefer shading in complementary colours. That's something that I just noticed very quickly. The highlights and the shading are a lot more soft and subtle than how I would do them. Now, I like a bit more contrast in my colours, especially when depicting shadows and lights, because that's just how I do my style, but I had to just tone back some of my shading. There is actually a comment from one of my old teachers at college, and she said that my style reminded her of a mix of anime and manga as well as some Disney. So I can kind of see how that would work. The next style on this list is Danny Phantom. Some of the styles have shorter clips than others because depending on the amount of time that they took to do overall. Danny Phantom is a cartoon from the artist Butch Hartman, and it was my childhood. It was, well, one of the programs of my childhood, definitely. I totally haven't gone back and watched some episodes of this show before during my summer holidays when I have nothing to do. Yeah, totally not done that. The next style is Kim Possible. This is another one of those shows that I used to watch on and off throughout my childhood as well. And I have rewatched some episodes after a long time, so excuse me, I'm 20. It was a childhood filled with cartoons. Just excuse me while I gush about them. And then the style after that is The Simpsons. Now, Danny Phantom, Kim Possible, and The Simpsons had it all in common that they were incredibly fast to do, and they had hardly any shading, which was lovely. Now, with the Kim Possible, the only coloured line art I really saw was around the hair, and that was a really interesting thing. There was also parts where it didn't have line work at all, so kind of around the lips and also around the eyes. So that's why the pupils looked a little bit weird for a little bit. With The Simpsons, I really wanted to keep the iconic colour because that is something you can see right away. The Simpsons style actually kind of scared me while I was drawing it. It was a very quick style to do, but I had anxiety about getting it wrong. That was the thing, because the way the lines work in the face, I got a little bit overwhelmed by it, even though it didn't take me very long to do. I don't know why I got so apprehensive about it. The last 5 styles are to do with artists. The 16th style belongs to Drawing with Waffles. Now, this style is more based on her more recent stuff. I feel like her more recognisable stuff is from like 2015, where you can tell that she has incredibly stylized things, but I really wanted to base it off some of her alphabet series of characters that she has drawn, but I think you still can kind of tell that it's sort of her style, especially in the way the nose is drawn and also the way the eyes kind of pop a little bit. So I think I kind of failed and I also kind of succeeded, but I don't know, the jury's up to you. Style number 17 is Sopharoah. Now, the thing is with Sopharoah's style is that she pretty much does traditional work outright. I'm not sure if she does digital work. If she has, I haven't really seen much of it, and most of it is traditional with tan tone paper. Now, trying to recreate traditional work digitally is difficult, to say the least. So I tried to have a digital spin of how I thought it would look, and afterwards I tried to add a texture on top of it just to make it look a bit more traditional, like it was done on paper. Obviously it doesn't look completely traditional, but Sophie's style is incredibly hard to replicate because it's very detailed. It's a style that I aspire to, am inspired by, because it's so detailed. She reminds me of me because every time I do details and I say I'm finished, 5 hours later I'm still working on exactly the same details. It just reminds me of me, just a lot. I feel like I really captured the essence of her style. I feel like the eyes are definitely something that are quite similar to how she draws them, and also the nose as well. But I'm not sure about anything else. With the artist style, it's all up to interpretation, and it's all up to your own kind of decision what you want about these. So I'm just gonna put it to you guys. What do you think of the artist's styles? So the next artist on this list, number 18, is Holly Brown. Holly Brown is one of my favourite artist YouTubers. I personally love Holly's personality. Now, Holly's personality is a very hit or miss kind of thing. You'll either love it or you hate it. It's a bit like Marmite. And she really doesn't care about negativity. She can just brush it off like it's nothing. But I'm one of those people who actually sits by in the community and just watches things that go on. And Holly, I've actually loved her work so much and wanted to support her. I pledged to her Kickstarter for Purgatory. I'm so excited to actually receive Purgatory, like an exclusive cover copy of it and a print and a whatever comes with it, because it was a Kickstarter that was extremely successful and got over its goal, so she could do stretch rewards for any physical backers, which I am of one. And I don't usually pledge anything to anyone because I'm a university student. I like to save my money. I'm quite a frugal person. I really like the way that Holly also colours and line works her stuff. It's very effective and it definitely gets across the message. She's a comic artist. The narrative of Purgatory, her comic, is actually really interesting. It explores themes that you never would have expected. So I would actually recommend you go check out her comic Purgatory. It's really good. Number 19, the style belongs to an artist called Siren. Now, I kind of feel like this one didn't turn out as well as I wanted it to. I tried to combine two of her art styles. Now, she kind of has two separate style. She has her digital painting style, which is her blended beautiful masterpieces, and then you have the outfit of the days, which have line work and are done on traditional paper and then with digital work over the top. And I tried to combine the two, and I think it kind of looks like Siren style, but at the same time it just really doesn't. So what do you think of this? Because I kind of think it looks a little bit like Bratz or like Moxie Girls, maybe. I don't know. More than Siren's style. So the last style we have, number 20, is the style of Annika Landberg. Annika was actually my very first collaboration partner, and she has a really interesting, whimsical, magical, kind of really cute style, which is completely different to everything that I looked at on my styles. And I thought, why not do Annika's style as my last one? Because I really like it. It's different. It's something that is quite inspiring, actually, because it kind of makes me want to draw my style versions of whatever she's drawing. It's cute. I keep saying the same words again and again and again, but that's because her style is really adorable. Because there's no pupils, she really can play around with how the eyebrows make it look and the shapes of the eyes. It's kind of like Gromit's eyebrow, how that depicts his expression because he has no mouth. So that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me which styles do you think I did the best down in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!